Okay, so the next Spider-Man movie might feel like it's light years away, but the internet is already losing its mind over one huge question. Who is Sadie Sink playing? We're about to jump headfirst into a wild fan theory that might have actually cracked the code, and if it's right, it could change everything for Peter Parker.
So yeah, that's the big mystery, right? Who is she playing? A really fascinating fan theory has popped up, piecing together clues from all over the Marvel comics. And the answer could completely reshape Peter Parker's world as we know it. So let's unpack this thing together.
So where did this all come from? Well, it kicked off with a tweet from Divinity Seeker. Now, they're not some known insider, but their idea is just, it's too good to ignore. The real key here is that word new in quotes. It's a huge hint that this Carly character isn't totally new at all, but a blend of two familiar faces from the comics.
The theory goes something like this. Carly is this super sharp forensic scientist who strategically and very deliberately inserts herself into Peter's life. This isn't some random meet cute, It's a calculated move that's building towards a bombshell reveal with massive, massive consequences for Peter. All right, so let's dive into our first theory. What's the first possibility for this mashup character? What if, after losing literally everyone, Peter Parker discovers he's not actually alone? This theory suggests Carly is the family he never, ever knew he had.
So, who are the two ingredients in this recipe for Carly? Well, on one side, we've got Carly Cooper, a brilliant scientist from the comics, and on the other, we have Teresa Parker, a secret agent who, get this, just so happens to be Peter's sister.
Okay, first up, we've got Carly Cooper. She is a brilliant forensic expert for the NYPD and a really key character in the Brand New Day comic storyline. But she's not just a love interest. She's this incredibly sharp investigator who actually figured out Peter was Spider-Man all on her own. And for our second ingredient, Teresa Parker. And yeah, you heard that right. Peter Parker has a sister in the comics. She's a highly trained secret agent for groups like the CIA and S.H.I.E.L.D., and when she showed up, she completely upended everything Peter thought he knew about his family.
So just imagine for a second you combine these two characters. You get a CIA forensic scientist, Carly, who uses all her skills to track down her only living relative, Peter Parker. I mean, after the devastating losses of No Way Home, this would give Peter such a powerful emotional anchor.
And man, this quote it perfectly captures the emotional weight of this theory. Imagine Peter having finally found his sister, saying this to her. It totally redefines his sense of purpose. He's not just a hero for the city anymore, he's a brother with a brand new reason to fight for the future. But what if this new connection isn't about hope? What if it's about tragedy? Let's explore a much, much darker possibility for our second theory, one where a new friend becomes Peter's next great adversary. For this theory, we're still using Carly Cooper's brilliant scientific mind as our base. But this time, we're fusing her with a totally different character, Lily Hollister. Lily was a New York socialite and a close friend of Carly's, but her story takes a very, very dark turn, transforming her into the villain known as Menace. Now, the thing about Lily Hollister is that she didn't choose to become a villain. It was this total, tragic accident. She stumbled upon one of Norman Osborn's old labs, accidentally spilled some new version of the Goblin formula, and it gave her the ability to turn into this monstrous villain, Menace. And that reveal just shattered the lives of everyone around her. So you can see where this is going, right? This theory sets up this gut-wrenching story of betrayal. Carly, the forensic scientist, gets close to Peter to learn more about Spider-Man, who she blames for her father's death back in No Way Home. But as she gets to know Peter, a real friendship starts to form, which leads to this huge emotional conflict when he finally discovers his new friend is the villain he's been fighting all along. All right, for our third and final theory, we're going big. We're talking multi-level big. This isn't just about a sister or a villain. It's about a living, breathing reminder of a life that Peter Parker can no longer even remember. So once again, we're starting with Carly Cooper's profession, but this time, we're blending it with a very, very specific version of Mary Jane Watson, one from the recent comics who, after going through an immense tragedy, has become the superhero known as Jackpot.
And this version of MJ, wow, she has been through the ringer. I mean, her journey is just absolutely heartbreaking. She was trapped in another dimension where she built a whole new family. But then that family was magically wiped from existence. So to channel all of that immense grief and trauma, she developed tech that gave her random superpowers, and she became the vigilante jackpot.
So here is the massive twist in this theory. What if Carly is actually an MJ from another universe? A universe where her Peter died saving her. She escapes to our MCU, arriving right after Doctor Strange's spell. And that would make her the only person in the entire world who knows who Peter Parker is, creating this incredibly complex and poignant bond between them.
Whew. Okay. We've just walked through 3 incredibly detailed, super compelling, and honestly pretty emotional theories. One gives Peter a family, one gives him a tragic new enemy, and one gives him a direct link to a past he's completely forgotten. Let's put them side by side and see how they really stack up. This table really just lays it all out perfectly. You've got the sister theory, which is all about finding hope, the villain theory, which is all about facing betrayal, and the lover theory, that one's about confronting a memory that isn't even his anymore. Each one forces Peter to deal with the fallout of No Way Home in a totally different way.
And that's what's so brilliant about this whole fan theory. Whether any of this turns out to be true or not, it hits on something crucial. The introduction of a character like this, a sister, a foe, or a multiversal echo, is exactly what Peter's story needs right now. It would push him to his emotional limits and really force him to define what kind of hero he's gonna be. So, now I'm turning it over to you. After digging into all the evidence, which theory do you think holds the most water? A long-lost sister? A friend turned foe? Or a lover from another life? The mystery of Carly is officially underway.